folks, I'm going to tell you 5 quick facts about black bull markets. Now, did you know, number 1, they're New Zealand FMA regulated? Number 2, did you know they have a copy trading service where you can either be a signal provider or copy signals? And number 3, did you know they've got over 26,000 tradable assets, including Forex, crypto, stocks, indices, and even more? And number 4, did you know they offer 500 to 1 leverage? And number 5, if you open up an account today and trade 1 lot a month, they're going to give you TradingView Pro for free. Check them out, Black Bull Markets.
Good morning, folks. Good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's well and ready for some market trading talk stuff. So I want to do pretty exciting market trading talk stuff. Cool. Hey, bro, I don't trade CHFJPY. Never even looked at it. Never even looked at it. I mean, sheesh, I don't even know. Let's see. There we go. Let's take a look. There we are. Okay, that one's a little hard to see. That's my old background color. Let's go to, there we go. All right. CHF, JPY. So if I was going to do analysis for this pair here, all right, looks bullish to me. There you go. It's pretty helpful, right? There's this raid there where this the price came down, took out liquidity, wanted to move back higher. Let's see what that looks like here. All right, so then turn to order block right there. Still moving higher. It's a little, that's the price action is a little bit ugly to me. I mean, it doesn't look like there's a lot of much to trade off of, at least right now. Here's 15 minutes. So that order block. So it actually could be ready to like, if it, what I would be waiting for trading here would be probably a move down below. I tend to see things in a more reversal type way. So a move below there with a gap and a test in there. You are getting, you got this fair value gap forming right here. Let's see what this 5 minutes drops into an order block. So you could potentially trade long there if it gets a good hell, I don't know. I don't think I'd trade it. That's my analysis. Yeah. So cool. That's all I got. I'm not familiar with this pair at all, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. So I'm gonna get rid of that. All right. Kakar How's it going? Good morning, good day, good evening, whatever it is for you. Time frame Israel Victor. I am trading. I typically trade on a 1 minute chart. I am just getting into charts this morning, so it's just showing the 1 hour chart right now. I just kind of was looking at a little bit bigger picture. I'll zoom in a little bit too. It's just I leave them zoomed out like that to kind of take a look and see what the last little while has been doing. So the vertical lines show the day separator, so you can see that it's showing quite a few days. Cool. I wouldn't personally look for a short in all-time highs without confirmation pattern, not just a candle. It would need you need like a displacement move down. That's kind of what I was talking about when I was saying like the breaking below that line, but I think I would wait for it on a higher time frame before looking short again, because I think there could be still room to the high side, and if there's no resistance in an all-time high, if there's no liquidity up there to reach for it, like, I don't know, there's plenty of reasons I think that people would say is to not trade. Not trade at all-time highs. That's just me personally though. So all right, Israel Victor. Break down the procedures of my strategy. Yeah, I'll do that as I go here. See, 15 minutes on each of these now, so I'm just getting a peek at more of the today's session so far and yesterday. So this is one I like right here. Let's see. All right, so I'm highlighting 15-minute structure elements here. The box being fair value gap, and the red line being order block level. Okay, so fair value gap is that the space between the previous like it takes 3 candles, first candle low and third candle's high, or vice versa if it's in a bullish formation. But right there is the space of the fair value gap, and then the order block is this series of green candles that are broken then by displacement. So already this current candle on the 15, or now the 5-minute chart, you can see is so far is respecting that. And there's like a micro version here as well. I'll just do a small version on the 5-minute chart. Same kind of thing though right there. So hey, don't do that. Come on. It's a little bit too stretchy for me to trade it right at the moment, but what is it? Oh, I made it the same color as my background. Light steel blue. Let's go Gainsborough. There we go. Okay. So there's the 5-minute version as well. So there's a little bit more in there. The fact that there's two happening in the same spot kind of shows the fractile nature of it. So it's getting smaller and smaller. Um, cool. Yeah, there's multi-time frame analysis. That's what I was just on 5 minutes here, 15 minutes here. Just pointing out that there are, my setup is kind of showing up here and on 2 different time frames, both the 5 and the 15. And I highlighted it with these boxes and lines. So back to 5 minute here. I do switch around a lot so I can kind of view and see. So Kingsley, right now I'm on the 5 minute chart. And so what's happened is, what I need to do is I need to select and see a higher time frame, 5 or 15 is typically what I'm looking at, a place, a location on the chart to see where my lower time frame trade wants to take place. And so I've highlighted that here. I can even stretch this out just to see it a little bit better. So there's overlapping ideas on 2 different time frames. So if I switch to 1 minute, the 1 minute chart's right here. And the 1 minute chart is not showing me it's ready for a trade yet. I'd look for structures within the 1 minute time frame as well. So this is 1 minute time frame here, and if I look at that, then the bigger, higher time frame idea that I have, this is kind of backwards, because if you look at this, we have a displacement move up. Looks like it would potentially want to move up. And so what I will need to do in order to validate a short trade, which is my high time frame idea, I would need to see a price come back up, maybe even raid out this high. So pop up above slightly up here, then break structure to the downside along with a gap, showing me that, okay, there's a desire to move down for liquidity. So if today is anything like a lot of the days I've been watching markets, it's likely to, I don't want to say likely because I'm not that smart, but there's been a lot of just kind of consolidations and I don't know. I haven't been analyzing very well lately, but I'm just talking through my ideas. So, that's why I'm here. I like to get things out of my head and into the screen, I guess, or into the microphone. So I do appreciate questions. Folks, you can ask any questions you'd like. I'll do my best to answer or respond to them within the knowledge that I have, within the understanding that I am not a professional trader, just a dude looking to make some money in a way that is independent and what I think is fun. So I'm going to sit back on the 5 minute chart here on most of these. So that's where my looks come from, my ideas. Another thing to point out is while I like this high time frame location here, it's interesting because these 2 markets are typically kind of hand in hand, but you can see I'll highlight 2 levels here. One on each of them. And what you can do is you can actually see so you can kind of see there that those 2 time-wise, that these are lined up here. However, you can see the S&P is weak compared to the NASDAQ. So based on that same, like this run up was much more energetic than the one here on the S&P. So tells me there's room to move up potentially, in that we have relative equal highs here, and that even matches in right in there. So there's liquidity up here for some point. And you have gap up here that could also be reaching for from previous price action yesterday, or I guess earlier today. So anyways, there's a lot to consider. Just breaking low though here. Potentially liquidity grab, but this could be enough to look for a short move as well. So I'll just kind of keep my eye on this liquidity level here. Put notes in on my items that I draw so I can easily identify what they are later. Harry, you're short. USD, Euro USD, looking for liquidation zone. Looks like, do you mean yesterday's lows, I imagine? Is that what you mean by liquidation zone? Lost my train of thought. Oh, equal highs. There we go. Stretch that out for later in case I see it. Need it. All right. Yesterday's lows. I'm gonna drop in some lines there. Yeah, it looks like there's, I'm not sure where you got in, but there's a couple opportunities from earlier in the session here, or in these this trading day, I should say. It's a little different than session. That looks pretty nice there. Order block. Couple spots in there you could go short. See if either of them would have allowed my trading would have allowed me to get in there. Always looking for good examples, so. I think both of these gaps that I outlined, I could get in with this engulfing, that engulfing. Then as it comes down, this one is ideal right here, because this I look for entry back into the zone I've identified on the higher time frame. So you can see the shaded box area, fair value gap, the red line, which is the order block. This one taps it perfectly. Then right afterwards gives an engulfing bar down. That's ideal right there. So you can see structurally this looks like it's in an uptrend because it's starting to move higher, but it's a bigger picture pullback, gets the engulfing bar, gets this first target here, second target here. The stop target like this. So stop would be up here, entries here after the engulfing bar. And then typically my first exit is going to be 1R just as a cover it. Pay the trader. Second one's going to be at levels that are based on liquidity. So cool, Harry. Looks like a good spot. It's a little too early for me to be in back then, but I'm gonna snap a picture for the playbook here. I've just been building a PowerPoint playbook, good trade setups that I like. So, all right, back to what's happening now. So Israel, kind of. So I'm gonna just pop this up so people know what I'm talking. Oh, it's not gonna show the whole thing. So you're saying Israel's question is start on the 15 time frame, get the order block, and you go down to time frame, look for fair value gap, and enter on the fair value gap. So it's kind of like that. I'll look either on the 15 or the 5. It just happened that the 15 has the fair value gaps nicely outlined. Also, something I didn't mention is I'm looking for that gap to be more than 50% up above the run. So this line right here being the 50% of this move, this first one, that break structure over here. So break structure, now there's a fair value gap up there. So that's a part of it as well. So it happens to be up above. It's in that top premium array. Same thing with this one. I didn't measure it because you learn to just kind of, oops, that's the wrong one. Let's go from top to bottom. That one's just above the 50% as well. So those are both valid locations for trade. So looking for the location, 5 minute, you could use, you could do that as well with the 5 minute if it works as well. So there is a, let's see if this one will work. 5 minute fair value gap right there. Order block doesn't really line up. So that takes away a little bit of help for me. There's still a fair value gap and price barely touches it, which is cool, but I don't trade that way. I trade after confirmation. So for me, this fair value gap wouldn't have been an entry. Comes back up, just barely touches into it right here, but it doesn't engulf down. Doesn't give me the confirmation. I wish that I didn't have to trade with the confirmation candle. I'm just not there. I take too many trades when I don't have another candle to confirm. And I just use an engulfing bar. So if this right here, if this bar was the one that was up there, then that would be an okay entry, and then I could look for a ride lower. So it's not necessarily like set in stone in terms of like go to 15, look for order block, go to 5, look for a fair value gap, go to 1, look for the entry. It's kind of generally how the flow goes, but you can look on 3 minute or 2 minute chart for gaps and stuff too. Just depends on the structure that you're looking at. That's kind of how I see it, at least. So hopefully that answered your question. If not, you can maybe clarify and I'll watch some more. Look for some more help in there. Oops. Israel, I see your question or your request for a recap. I'll do it again in a minute. I'm just want to keep an eye on this real quick here. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not convinced here. It's nearly. I'm not convinced that this is ready to move lower at this point. So otherwise, I would be looking to potentially enter short, reaching up into the gap and engulfing down. But this low, it wasn't. That's not enough of a break. It's not a displace. That's not displacement there to see a continuation down lower. So I'm not going to get in there short until I see something more convincing, like I was mentioning earlier. So now we have this little microstructure building within the framework of these bigger picture 5 and 15-minute gaps and order blocks. So that is available, but the microstructure on the 1 minute here is not convincing at this point. It's still kind of in this either consolidation or this pullback. So what could see on this is a third move up back into this range. And I think I mentioned earlier, like a potential rate of liquidity and then a structure breakdown here lower. So I'll watch for that before I look to take anything short. So this is starting to look a bit interesting here. Let me see. That's 15. All right, so on 5-minute chart here, what do I see? And maybe Israel, this will kind of help a little bit. We'll see. So what happened here? To me, I see a liquidity grab in this little bit. So that's reaching below an old low for liquidity. And it also just happens to grab on to that order block. Oops, wrong one. So that's the first thing I'm seeing and why I'm even considering this. So it reaches down. I'll get rid of that because that's not actually something I'll use. So it raids liquidity below here, tags into an order block, and then breaks structure to the upside. Within that structure break, seeing gap starting to form. Now the next check I need to do is the gap below 50%. And if I draw the gap, to me, that looks like it's above, to me. No, that's definitely above 50%. So I can't do anything with the 5-minute chart here, at least not until the displacing move here gets high enough. See that as the price moves higher, that gap looms into range. Yeah, exactly. Israel is above. As the price continues to move higher, though. Look at that. Now it's above, or now it's part of it's above at least. You can see most of it is. So that starts becoming more valid as I'm watching here. So I'm just checking the 3 and the 2 to see if there's a better spot. It's still poking a little bit higher. So I think location wise, it's within the 50%, or it's good enough. So then if it does a pullback, I can get rid of my 50% marker, my fib lines, pull back into there. So I'll just have to hang on, wait for something on this, but the setup is there. Actually, let me check one more thing too, make sure there's room for liquidity. Sorry, room for liquidity. So if this is the move that I'm measuring for location, I would look for the 1R somewhere within this first return back to previous high, but then also we have this up here, which would be the second or longer term target. So there is room there for a move higher. Could you look at that picture if you wanted to hold something a little bit longer, get up towards there, but for myself, I can't. I could. I choose not to wait on targets that big. I'm looking mostly for reaching for that first pivot and second one back on a 5 or 15. So it's interesting if you look at the S&P on the blue background ones here. This is that spot I was looking at taking short, but you can see it's just hesitating. It's I think what ICT would say is engineering liquidity, creating a false sense of security down at the bottom there, where people would like to see, would like to be able to put their stops and feel safe about it. I think it's going to raid that out. Going to come down below this red line. Probably what's down there. We got yesterday's, 2 days ago, and 3 days ago, or sessions ago, I should say. All their those dotted lines are from the lows of the last 3 sessions. So if we get it, if there's a microstructure wise, it's got a potential to come back up. It is breaking structure. So there's a short-term low, intermediate term low, long-term low on the 1 minute chart, all happening right here. That, well, again, not the long-term low, but these 3, 4 short terms, all broken by this move down. But it's question is it ready? Is it ready to go lower? And this is why I wait for a confirming candle, because excuse me, if I just use the gap entry, my understanding isn't quite great enough to get in and know that this is the spot that it's going to head back down. And so I wait for that confirming candle to drag back below. So clearly not the time for a short. But this is that third move that I was talking about earlier that could braid out the level up here, take out liquidity, and then make a structure move down. So I'll keep watching that. All right, and there. S&P not quite making it above into that liquidity. Looks like I could actually take this long. So check this. No, not really, not yet. I just like the potential for a reach up into this area up here. Could just be choppy too. Free life, yeah, it's a little choppy. Yeah, you can. It's getting there. Victor, it's real. But again, I gotta wait for it to actually get into the area I chose. So I'll just put a little alert there. So if I'm not watching the right screen, I can come back and find it. Just look at that. I don't know when it's gonna take that out, but it's got to go up there. And I'll give it a shot if let's see where. All right, so I mean, it's been definitely past the 50% into that gap. This bar is engulfing. Full green bar close above last bar's high. Then I can go long. Hey, thanks for your life. That's cool. It's interesting being here and doing this live stream because like I by no means like made it as a trader, and so it's like I really appreciate this time because it gets me thinking outside my own head, which is helpful as a trader. If you have been trading for a while, you know what your head does when you're looking at charts and you kind of start making up ideas that you think are going to work. So this candle's coming too close. So this is not an entry candle for me. Did respect the 2-minute fair value gap though, pretty nicely. Let me actually just leave this on a 2 since that's where the gap is at. I'll just watch it there. Ugh. It's really the stop loss is going to be on the other side of the engulfing bar. Ideally on the other side of the gap if there's room for it. I use pretty small stop losses and um, let's see. This one's you can see that it's still respecting the gap. Tails came out the wicks, but not the body at this point. It's engulfing right now, so it's got 30 seconds to close. So who knows if that would be if it's going to stay an engulfing bar. In other words, might just be a little early to the party too. Like it's this chop is not super exciting. So see that? That's why I wait for the end of the bar. Looks good, fails. And the this pullback looks pretty similarly on both the charts there too. So going on here? Still choppy. Just noticing this. Price action returning in there. So that could be a, I'm not going to take it, but in a better location, that could be an entry there for long up to the highs up here. But that's all 1 minute based. 5 minute chart. It has a gap and it has a structure break, but it's not not it's actually a little bit convincing. Breaks up. It leaves liquidity. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I was not paying attention. This is the 5 minute chart. So this is the 1 minute chart. So that would have been the entry bar there. That would have been cool. Potentially. No. I'm too excited to take a trade. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just looking for a thing. Okay, so if it's hit a location on the 5 minute, which it did a couple times now, then what I need is a structure break with an energy that leaves a gap. So if this breaks out above here, leaves a nice gap, then I'll look at that again. Let's see what's going on over here. Yeah, it's not gonna feel very good about getting in there. That could have been an entry bar there. Remember, I said I was waiting for an engulfing candle. This one right there is an engulfing bar, if you're wondering what that looks like. So maybe Israel. This is what I would look like for my entry and stop here. So this red line represents where the stop would go. It does that automatically based on what I've decided as my risk and based on the location. So and then it adds in spreads. You can see the spread is like that much. Oops. Oh, come on. So the entry would have been right after the engulfing bar plus spread. So like there. Call it like that. So this zero line would be entry. This zero line would be stop. First target would be at 1R, which is, you can see this line, just got them mapped out. Second target, oh, there you go, would have had it already. Nice big pop up there. That's cool. So it's grabbing liquidity like I was waiting for. So that I like to validate that my ideas are right. So I think, let's see what the 5 minute shows for a second target. All right, looks like CAD is getting ready too. Let's see. So I think I would have my second target would have been probably 2 hour, maybe 2.5 where the New York midnight line is here, because this looks like a spot for a turnaround. What I mean by that is this is just now getting tested here. This gap order block right there. So that would have been my second exit. So not a huge opportunity, but that's how that looks. Israel. Hopefully that helps a small bit at least. All right. So price entered, decided upon location. However, it did so with a big bear bar. So it's going to be a bit before the possibility for entry. So not yet. Why did I have such a hard time? Oh, what if my mouse is dying or something? So this is actually a possible trade here. We got 12 seconds. It did return. Oh, no engulf. No, not quite engulfed. Huh. But that was pretty close to actually being a quick, a small long move up. Using target 1 or target 2 right above it there. It's okay. I'm just getting excited. Okay, so liquidity has been snaggled here. Ooh, double snaggled up there. And not quite making it to there. Let's see. See, not quite. Precise tag though, that same high. Let's see, did it go up higher? No, not yet. Well, oh well. Trying for that high again. Looks like this is gonna be a trade-free live stream, folks, which is fine. I got to talk about a lot of ideas and not doing anything on any of them. But my time is almost gone. I'll keep watching the CAD for a return, potentially in that one more low. And then a break above the 1 minute structure with a gap. Israel, you should watch through the 2022 ICT mentorship on YouTube. That's what this is based on. And my win rate is probably not good enough as is. So I've been actually trying to be really a little bit more cautious with my entries, waiting for things to line up a little bit better, because like I was saying earlier, I tend to take more trades than I need to. And so that doesn't help a win rate very much in terms of um, being profitable. So I'm on this challenge. I'm actually in drawdown still. So last week was a drawdown week. This week I've had just 2 trades and they're both losers. So 100% losing win rate right now, Israel, if that's helpful for the week. 100% losing. Pretty cool, huh? It's the life of a trader, life of a learning trader. And if it's either gives you something to laugh at or gives you something to be encouraged by, I've been trading. However, seriously, I won't say specifically because I've gone through lots of different phases of what I think trading is, but three and a half years or something like that. So I'm not one of those folks that has figured it out and made it in 6 months and now, have an extra house in Bali and all that kind of stuff. I'm just really want to be able to buy some good quality food for my family, pay the bills. Fortunately, I have a job, so I'm not like breaking the bank and ruining the rest of my life by going into debt to be a quote unquote trader. But um, you get the idea. All right, it's coming up on 7:30. That is my typical time to be done on the stream. Let's see. What was I gonna do? Banners. I was gonna put up my YouTube link if anyone wants to watch my journal entry type YouTube stuff. Just I just go over my entries and why I get in, why I get out. So it might be good for you to watch those to see a little bit more. But I would really encourage you to take the time to watch through the 2022 mentorship with ICT. That's a wonderfully put together course to study. What's going on here? Oh, CAD moved back out of that spot I picked out pretty well. Check that out. But rules are rules, and if I break the rules now to get in on without an engulfing bar, then I'll break the rules in every other way too. I'm like I said, I like to take trades, and therefore I like to I like to trade. So I look for reasons to trade. So I have to have some good reasons to trade. But I like to see and study this stuff, even if I'm not actually in the trade itself, because um, um, I get to learn as I watch these things. So maybe down the road when I see something that looks like this, then I can take a limit entry just as it comes into the gap and get in that way. That'd be cool. That'd be pretty cool. Pretty sweet. All right. Yeah. Yeah, you got Israel ICT 2022 membership. It's good stuff. So, um, John, Jahan, 99% of day traders lose money at the end of the year, and there are a bunch on this YouTube day trading channel. What's your thought? Are you saying there's a bunch that are losing money, or just me? Because this is a demo account. I'm trading for the challenge. So, hey, thanks, Israel. That's cool. But Jahan, I, I think a lot of people do lose money because they're unwilling to view the reality of what the trading markets is, because it's easy to approach from a kind of gambler style mindset. It's easy to approach from a get rich quick mindset, both of which I've already gone through, and and looking to trade in a more realistic way. So fortunately, I've not had the money to just throw away, so I've been pretty careful with my accounts. I haven't blown up and ruined my life, but it's just made it take a lot longer to learn. I truly think that I'm actually pretty close to being at a place where I can pass this challenge. Like it's very close, I think, and I really hope to do that on this challenge with TradingNut, because I've appreciated a lot of what TradingNut has done, and learned a lot from the interviews he's done and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, that's the story in a nutshell. And my time is gone, so I'm gonna head out and go for a walk, and I'll check back. I usually watch the lunch hour, the New York lunch, and the afternoon session. So that's when I'm doing my normal job, so I can kind of keep an eye on the charts at that point. So all right, that's it for me for today. Farewell, good trading to all you all. Thanks, Cam. Appreciate it.